Rage personified. Valkyr is known for being merciless against her enemies on the battlefield. As many wouldn't know by now, Valkyr Prime was released on the 22nd of November 2016. It was a joy and disappointment at the same time for me, sadly. As a lover of the game's lore, I would say for me it was one of the most controversial primes to be released. As being a follower of the game lore since I got into this game before Update 10 was released, it was nice to see a game develop around its lore. Most would say that's not any time in the game, but getting in-depth into the lore of the game from then, through all the events that has led up to this day, should give some legitimacy to this. No, this is not another salty vid. This is just an in-depth look behind the game lore of Valkyr and her appearance as a prime. If you can get past that, let's have a logical discussion. Let's get to it then. I wanted to talk today about the Warframe that strikes fear into the corpus. The frame they made into what she is now. The Valkyr that we originally knew from the game's lore, as based on her in-game description, was forged in the labs of the Zanuka project. The original Valkyr was subject to cruel experiments, leaving her scarred, angry, and frighteningly adept at killing. Now, many would say that we didn't go that far back, so why should we care? Well, you should actually, as it was an in-game event that practically changed the course of how the game lore was directly influenced by the players. This goes all the way back to the Gradivis Dilemma event, when the Grineer and the Corpus were in battle, when Alad V found a cache of Tenno in cryosleep and wanted to exploit them in his secret weapons research project. With the Grineer winning the event, it was believed that they stopped Alad V, only to find out he had already stolen away with some of the Tenno. This project we eventually learned was called Project Zanuka. Zanuka, the weapon to fight Warframes, built from Warframes. As set on the Warframe wiki, previously having thrived among the Tenno in her natural Jesemi form, Valkyr is known for her capture and subsequent torment at the hands of Alad V. The obsessed corpus scientist would bring Valkyr to his lab on Themisto, Jupiter, where she would be restrained and subjected to harsh experiments. This mad science would greatly expand the corpus's knowledge of Warframe design, and consequently left Valkyr maddened and scarred. Ultimately, Valkyr was deconstructed and used to produce the Zanuka prototype, Alad's V companion fighting machine. So the Valkyr, as the game lore would state, is the result after the corpus had their way with her. As with most women we know, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. In this case, a Warframe scorned. So her appearance took on that of a Warframe after experimentation, with the bonds that held her down, the attachments of Valkyr bonds which kept her bound while in corpus captivity. After her release in Update 11, there came up the topic amongst the players. What did she look like before the corpus experimented on her? This answer was revealed in Devstream 53, originally known as the pre-corpus skin before release, where it was officially called the Jesemi skin. And then on Devstream 56 we saw the live sculpting of said skin. So now comes the next question. When this prime was revealed, if Valkyr Prime is coming, which one would it look like, and would the powers be the same or different? Then came the big release to reveal her prime has a striking resemblance to her post-corpus experiment look. Now you're saying boo-hoo, stop salting and move on. But this is where I want to toggle at your better judgment. Why would you go through the trouble of making a skin to show what she looked like before the experimentation and then making a prime having more similarities to a post-corpus one is beyond me? Most would say it's just another cash cow they just got in that everybody got into, so we can't say about that. But lore-wise, I could get the powers being the same, but the main appearance of her, the prime has no true resemblance to the Jesemi skin. But most would say that's like all the frames. But no. Nearly all the frames have a look similar to their counterparts. The primes are supposed to be the original frames, the ones where the others were reverse engineered from. Now I know I may have gotten a bit too deep into the lore for some people, and we know the lore went out the window a good few updates ago. I say this with one big example. Nova Prime. Yes, there could be a prime of her, But seeing as she was built after the Orkin era, aka built from the devs working with the founders at the time, it's kind of hard to truly say that there was a Prime version of her. Get past the hate for bashing a Nova Prime, but seriously stay with me on this. If we follow the game lore, which has gotten far and few in between updates, the lore began having many loopholes that most people just forgot about the game lore entirely. But for those of us who love the game lore behind it, as well as take it as canonicity a bit more seriously. If we look back at the previous primes, certain primes gave us a bit of game lore dealing about them in a cryptic story way. The 4 primes were Ember, Mag, Rhino, and Excalibur. I'm sure many other lore following players have been waiting for ages to see whether or not the other primes would get the same kind of backstory to help fill in the pieces, but to no avail they have not surfaced up to this day. Until that day comes when we can get a bit more game lore to fill in the blanks that so desperately need filling to have a sense of consistency within the game, we'll just have to wait to see what Digital Extreme gives us. And this happens to be my take on the Valkyr Prime as she comes out. If you like this video, give it a like. If not, hit a dislike, leave a comment, leave your thoughts on what you think about it. Until next sailing, this is the Caribbean Pirate sailing off. Peace.